Okay, levels look good. Hairline looks... alright, I guess. Yeah, so I'm not wearing my glasses today. It's definitely an aesthetic choice, but because of that,
I cannot see shit.
So pardon me if I just start squinting randomly. It's not because I'm like judging you or anything. Okay, this is gonna be an interesting video. Because it's kind of a video inside a whole anthology of videos on this godforsaken platform that we call YouTube. Let me explain. As I'm writing the script for this video, I've just watched Gabi Belle's video titled The Death of Commentary. And if you don't know who Gabi Belle is, well, yes you do. You don't know who I am, okay? You clicked on this video because her name was in the title. Because this whole thing is just a clout-chasing publicity stunt, okay? You got me. You see what I'm getting at with this? If not, go check out her video right now. I'm sure I'll put the title on the screen or something. And I mean like now. You're not gonna understand anything I'm saying otherwise. So I, like seemingly 95% of Gabi's audience, discovered her channel and content pretty recently. And I gotta say, being a fan of the Drew Goodins and the Curtis Connors and the He Who Shall Not Be Nameds of the past, I immediately warmed up to it. Gabi's content by and large represents this new wave of creative, satirical, dry commentary on just about everything. And in the short span of watching some of her videos, let me say that again, some, don't come for me, there's been a lot of light shed on certain topics and secrets, I guess you could say, of social media platforms that are actively promoting inauthenticity that I found pretty interesting. A great example is this video she made about 9 months ago in which she breaks down this absolutely boneheaded TikTok trend of acting like these, you know, highly produced auto-tuned singing and a cappella videos are unedited and shot in someone's kitchen.
Hopelessly devoted to you.
Let's discuss. If you're musically inclined at all, or not, you may have noticed that this sounded really, really good.
And even I, someone who has a pretty musical brain, has played classical violin on and off for 15 years, sang and performed in an amazing a cappella group in college, you know who you are, and continues to create a cappella covers on this channel. I even minored in music in college, believe it or not, and even I fell for this and interpreted these clearly altered vocals as real. Initially. Because the first time you hear and see these videos, the brain connection of, oh shit, this is absolutely fake, I can literally hear the pitch tuning going on, is easily overrode by the much more enticing heart connection of, wow, they sound so good, how did they do that? Jennifer Coolidge voice, do a bit here about reading the parentheses and then redoing it, oh yeah. Is easily overrode by the much more enticing heart connection of, wow, they sound so good, how did they do that? Oh shit. I'm Jennifer Coolidge. Okay. So Gabi sheds light on this in a way that I don't think shames or puts down these TikTokers and still effectively critiques them. And this goes to represent her entire channel, at least as it stands right now. A kind of universal parallel to the that's cringe and fuck this guy genres of 2016 YouTube that manages to simultaneously be parody and not all that mean. Who would have thought that's possible? And at this point, Gabi has amassed over 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, hold up. There we go.
And passed this milestone pretty recently, and has even branched out into music.
Oh, hold up again. Okay, fine.
And I gotta say, seeing her journey with her original songs has been really cool, with each song slowly getting more deeply and thoughtfully written and produced and unique. Point is, she's doing her thing. And has been, and the almighty YouTube algorithm is finally rewarding her for it. Okay, Gabe, so what the fuck is the point of this video? I came here for Gabi Belle slander, and all I'm getting is you sloppily jerking off her massive cock. Look, one of the reasons I gravitated towards this channel in the first place is because Gabi and I seem to share some common interests, at least when it comes to YouTube. We talk about similar topics, we have the same kind of choppy editing style, we seem to have an affinity for music, and we even use the same text on screen sometimes. It's called Soap, by the way, for anyone wondering. It's free to download, and actually, I feel like I stylize mine a little bit better if I'm being honest. But let's get back to the topic at hand, shall we? Gabi puts out this video titled The Death of Commentary. But is commentary really dead? I disagree. So here's my take. Of course, as you guys probably know, this channel is largely driven and conducted through commentary. My claim to fame, and still highest viewed video on my channel, unfortunately, is about the Snapchat magicians. You know, Justin Flom, whoever the weirdo behind the camera is. And was I making fun of them? Yes. But guys, sometimes people make things on the internet that are worthy of roasting, okay? Like, if Jake Paul hadn't been made fun of for his teacher diss a while back, do you think he'd be on one of the biggest stages in boxing history fighting a 58-year-old Mike Tyson in what will go down as the least entertaining boxing match in all of history? Oh God, what have we done? And believe me, while I'm no longer interested in making content specifically like that, there is so much more in that genre of Snapchat magicians that is completely untouched. A content goldmine, if you will. Like, Justin Flom is still out here making videos of him punching holes in the wall, putting his children on the internet for all to see. Yeah, that's never gonna backfire. But I'm getting off track. My point is, what is my point? Point is, my channel has always been based in a commentary style that mimics these creators that Gabi says are now dying. So let's break down this video and see what she really has to say, shall we? Gabi starts out this video with a personal anecdote of someone she collaborated with, a content creator she looked up to, who grew a bigger following before her and essentially left a bad taste in her mouth, as it opened her mind to the real ugly side of this awesome thing we call influencing. Yeah, there is no good side to influencing, as it turns out. Who knew? And she goes over how she discovers this culture of fast LA lifestyles, egomania, the complete sellout nature of larger creators.
Never meet your heroes, I guess, because then you'll realize that they're just people, and you might not like them.
And here's what I gotta say about this, okay? I know I couldn't even dream about moving to LA right now, even with all the other creative work I have going on besides YouTube. But I don't dream about it. In fact, I try to avoid LA like the plague. I know I'm not cut out for that shit. I know I'm not fake enough, okay?
Just want to clarify here that I'm not trying to say that everyone that moves to LA is fake, but from my somewhat limited experience, it seems that the culture highly encourages it.
Just one day in DTLA for a documentary shoot back in August was plenty to prove that to me. And guess what, Gabi? I don't want to meet my heroes, okay? Even if Drew Gooden was my hero, which I'd like to think he's not because I try not to develop parasocial relationships with YouTubers, if I saw him on the street in LA, I don't even think I would approach him. And if I did, it would be on a strictly fan basis. Like, I'm not trying to collaborate, I'm not trying to feature in or edit your videos, ugh. I know that sounds like I'm coming for Gabi, and that's not my intention. Maybe it's a little harsh. But for real, what I want as a content creator is not to ride on the coattails of the same people that created the lane that I'm currently in, but instead to participate in and help create a new generation of creatives, and I cannot stress this enough, peers that share a like mind. That is how magic is created, especially in the visual medium. I mean, just look at production companies like A24 or the original cast of animators at Pixar. These people shared a vision that had no exact blueprint to go off of, no guiding hand, no stepladder. Do they have industry connections? Of course, but that's just showbiz, baby. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? My point here is, yeah, don't meet your heroes. Instead, become a hero to someone else. Build your own reality, create your own lane. And you might be sitting here saying, Gabe, isn't that like completely unrealistic? Don't you need some kind of starting point for an industry like this? And to that I say, well, you might be right. But if we aren't shooting for the stars, respectfully, what the fuck are we doing? Did we come here to do the same shit everyone else is doing, but marginally better? Did we join the creative industry just to be uncreative? Right. I say this knowing it's not black and white, and also knowing that no creation, especially online, is completely unique these days. But I stand firm in saying that my channel and its success, as slow and insignificant as that success may be, is a byproduct of not chasing numbers, and instead chasing my passions, chasing what actually makes me happy. Which segues into the next part of Gabi's video, sectioned YouTube is a losing game. I didn't initially want to get into too much detail on this section because I think any avid YouTuber understands what Gabi calls the Mr. Beastification of YouTube. Yeah, we've all seen it, we've all grown sick of it, and Gabi makes some great points here. Right before going into a shameless sponsored ad. Like, Gabi, come on, I know it's self-aware, but still.
I know it's a little ironic for me to do an ad right now, but I signed a contract and I really, really like these socks.
I'd be lying if I said I've never been entranced by the ever so toxic out of 10 listing for my uploads on YouTube Studio. Even when I'm not posting, I check in on my studio almost every day. Maybe an unhealthy amount. Perhaps. But I'd like to think that that serotonin boost I'm chasing isn't just views and traction. It's positive interaction. It's growing a supportive community. Like, isn't that what everyone wants on their YouTube channel? At least at the beginning? I say this knowing I'm a hypocrite, okay? And I'm also gonna make a video on that soon, so stay tuned. Indeed, I have made videos in the past strictly for traction, for views, for channel traffic. If anyone remembers the lightning reviews days on my channel, that's exactly what that was. It was an experiment to see if I could attract the eyes of the algorithm with a simple and easy formula. And for the most part, albeit on a very small scale, it did. But as I've explained in previous videos, the process of doing that totally turned me off from content creation. Because as a result of this experiment, the actual quality of my videos started to suffer. The energy and personality started disappearing, the passion was slowly fading away. But instead of just continuing, knowing that this strategy unfortunately works, I took a step back. I stopped uploading for a while, much to the chagrin of the YouTube algorithm, I'm sure. I made sure that my next upload would be worth my time and everyone else's for watching it. And to my surprise, that strategy actually worked too. For the first time towards the end of 2023, I had 2 back-to-back videos with over 1,000 views. And even in that tiny success for my channel, one of those videos I really didn't like. It was about Noel Miller's first YouTube comedy special. I criticized Noel for a style of comedy that, in my opinion, didn't really translate to a live audience. But I also praised him for, getting himself out there and continuing to chase one of his longtime dreams of stand-up comedy. And despite this video getting enough views to make me excited for the future of my channel, it brought more negativity and honestly just hateful comments that again turned me off from content creation as a whole. Now, I'm not saying that I'm gonna stop making videos if I start getting hate comments. Like literally everyone in the history of YouTube has gotten hate comments. It's a thing. And I've even had several friends tell me, well, negative attention is still attention, right? But I disagree. I don't want my videos to start nasty fights in the comments, even if they're not directed at me. No matter how many times I've said I wanted to start a fight in the comments, and I think I've said that a lot. At the end of the day, I want my videos to start productive conversations. I want to allow a platform for people to feel comfortable voicing their own opinions. And I say again, isn't that what everyone who's starting out their YouTube channel wants? Like, I cannot be in the minority here. Right?
YouTube overall as a whole benefits from outrage clicks, even if the videos don't have that much substance. And creators are just playing into it because that's what works.
But again, I just don't see how this is a progressive way to look at this problem. It's interesting that Gabi says this too, because while her video titles may be the slightest bit clickbaity, they're not even close to Mr. Beast. They're not trying to do what everyone else is doing. They are an example of breaking this horrific brain rot mold that the YouTube algorithm has somehow created. So Gabe, are you just trying to say that you're different too, that you're so special?
Grow up.
Well, maybe I want to add a different perspective. One that says, hey, if we're born into this clickbaity brain rot hellscape that 2020's YouTube is, we actually do have an opportunity to change it. I think this relates to my perspective on, well, life in general. When I see these issues with the algorithm, I don't just accept that this is the way it is or this is how it needs to be. I see it as a challenge to use it to my advantage, to get people to click on the video so that they leave it having learned something new or understanding me more as a person. And now you see why this video is titled Gabi Belle, I Disagree. Because let's face it, I actually agree with her on most of the points in her video. But if that silly title got you to click and you're still here now, well, I think I did my job. Now that we have the creators that Gabi mentioned in her video, like Tommy Innit and Curtis Connor, that have laid the groundwork for what needs to change, well yeah, let's make that change. An algorithm responds to the collective ideas that are put into it. That is its entire purpose. When we start going against the current, creating a new standard of quality, a new lane, people will follow, and it doesn't matter how much bullshit is out there already. This doesn't just apply to YouTube. I mean, it applies to psychology and groupthink. It even applies to politics. Change is always tangible, but we have to make it happen. And Gabi, you're part of that change, that positive change. So don't just state it as a fact that this is the way it is and that we just have to adapt and survive. I mean, for lack of a better word, that's a cynical take. It's almost nihilistic, and we do not need any more of that on a platform like YouTube that was originally intended to express one's individuality through video. The way YouTube is now, it's not gonna be that way in 2030. Just how it's changed so much from how it was in 2015. A lot happens in 5 years, as we've come to see. And hell, even if it doesn't change, I'm still gonna be right here making videos about topics that I truly care about with a quality that I'm truly proud of. Even if they end up being film reviews about movies that came out months ago or that I don't do enough research on, even if they don't get that many views. As long as I'm portraying my original thoughts in the best way I know how and building a supportive community, that is truly all that matters. At least to me. So what about this next part, when Gabi talks about those specific creators that have this sort of positive outlook but end up being nasty people who don't even follow their own rules?
It's important to surround yourself with people who ground you. I think we should have all rethunk Mr. Beast's philanthropic character after he started proudly associating and hanging out with and becoming best friends with Logan Paul. Known scammer.
Once again, Gabi, you make some great points here. It is a true virtue to take a step back and understand who and what you're being exposed to on a daily basis. I mean,
Cody Ko was a beloved Vine to YouTube star that gained popularity from his That's Cringe comedy reaction videos he would do with his friend, and went radio silent after getting called out for sleeping with a minor after he was well into his 20s.
And maybe I'm speaking from a cis white male's perspective here, and by maybe I mean most definitely, but I'm getting real tired of this bad guys always win circular argument bullshit. Like, yeah, I was a fan of Cody Ko too, right up until that video came out. You know the video. But even if I make content that's slightly similar to and definitely inspired by his older stuff, guess what? You're not gonna catch me sleeping with a minor. Because I haven't. Because believe it or not, that's actually not a hard thing to avoid. God. Now don't get me wrong, there are so many people that do the exact same thing as Cody with apparent immunity thanks to, you know, social status or community or whatever. And that extends way past the YouTube sphere. But believe me when I tell you, that will not last forever. Their time is coming. And depending on how spiritual you want to get, well, Judgment Day is gonna be here for all of us at one point.
Let's put it like that.
My point here being, it's possible to make any kind of content you want on YouTube and not be a terrible person in real life. Really, it's not hard at all. But rising creators like Gabi and hopefully myself have to set the standard for the future. We have no other choice. In the age of information, be that positive force to people that look up to you. And God, this is the most overplayed quote in maybe all of history, but be the change you want to see. Otherwise, nothing will change. Okay, look, it's late, I'm exhausted, I just got back from a 3-day trip to film a documentary, not to mention I really have to pee. But I hope you got what I was going for here in this, commentary video. YouTube is this wonderful, scary, infinite space that I as a creator and you as a consumer choose to occupy. It's given the rise to absolutely horrendous people like Logan Paul, who just continue to win and get more rich and keep winning. And seeing that can make someone really lose hope. Not just in the platform, but in humanity as a whole. I sense a little bit of that hopelessness in Gabi Belle's video. And that's where I disagree with you, Gabi. Because somehow, among this horrific, screaming, Squid Game knockoff clusterfuck, comes creators like you, and viewers like
you. Thank you.
And what you gotta understand is that just by virtue of you making this video, you are contributing to a pushback in the collective consciousness of YouTube. You're giving more of a voice and opportunity for small creators, like me, to prove why commentary isn't dead. In fact, it's very much alive, and changing and growing into something new. And I'm just now realizing that that may be the entire point of Gabi's video. Fuck! Well, that's all there is to say from me. I hope you enjoyed my yapping for the last probably 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this epidemic that Gabi talks about? I mean, do you think commentary is dead? Do you think I should just leave? Put them down in the comments. And other than that, I guess I'll see you guys later. Please don't commit statutory while I'm gone. Okay, it shouldn't be that hard. All right, goodbye.